57.
Go-kart Bob.
Holodeck program 57 has initiated program complete. You may enter when ready.
Your computer. All right, let's go, guys. Shh. Wow, this is realistic. I mean, you could just smell the hot dogs cooking at the hot dog vendor. You're making me hungry. Dr. Pulaski? That's not your voice. This is very interesting indeed. Although I am concerned that nothing has happened. I'm not giving any time of at you. You bloody cow. Take this. Oh my God, did you hear? Did you hear that, Dana? Yes, I did, Jordy. Quickly now, this way. Yes, indeed. It appears as though the game is at foot. The game is at foot. Do you hear me? Dana, you said that like 3 times. Well, it's true, Jordy. The game is at foot.
Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty Sunday. I'm your host with the most that likes making peanut butter and chocolate sandwiches with his toast. Hebro77 here. And we are in for a ride of a lifetime. I'm Hebro77 standing by with good old Amazon Lion. Amazon Lion, what you got for us this week, girl?
Chocolate. I'm doing all right, Hebro77. I am exhausted. Of course, I get that way. Working. Gotta support the family. People out there know how it goes. But other than that, it's been an all right week. I haven't really done too much. Been pretty tired. It may be due because I have bad lungs and a enlarged heart, and all the smoke that's been in the air has made my chest feel pressurized, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Let's get into this real quick about all the smoke. There's all these wildfires going on all over the United States and in Canada. I think it all started in Canada, but I say wildfires loosely because we all know this shit was on purpose. It was. It had to be. And we got a video putting out that will kind of show that a little bit. But they're doing this. It's affecting the weather. It's affecting the trees and all that. It's affecting
the oceans, which is oxygen. And trees, that's a bit more oxygen. They're taking our oxygen. They're depleting it.
Just another attempt at decreasing the population.
Yep. That's what they're doing. That's what I believe. Either that, or if you look at it, we're low on food resources, and that's another way to push game out of the forest. Or we got C. I bet thinking hard about this. Could you tell?
Mm-hmm.
Or C, what
Yeah,
are
you,
they
you got
trying
smoke.
to?
You got smoke coming out of your ears. Get
I
it?
do.
Yeah.
Or are they trying to run something out of the forest? What are
Mm.
they trying to hide? Who's hiding? Like, is it UFO alien type stuff? All the stories of people that have said they've seen things out in the forest, out in woods. Are they trying to push them out? I don't know. It's a bunch of questions for me.
I think
Because
it's
there's tons of video out there of these wildfires being made.
honestly, I think it's more of uh, a population control type of deal, and also an economy control type of deal where they're trying to cause as much death. God, excuse me, death and destruction as humanly possible to just destroy the infrastructure from the bottom to the top. They're trying to destroy the infrastructure because as everybody else does, that disasters cause gas prices to skyrocket, and then the skyrocketing gas prices cause in-store home goods to skyrocket, and they cause uh the cost of living, the cost of gas, natural resource,
Yeah, I mean, because with all that
because they're
smoke in
burning off
the
all
air,
the natural resources.
yeah, think of everything it's destroying right now. Especially when the rain clouds come down, all that smoke, all the chemicals in the smoke coming down.
And it's messing with our weather. We've had a dry spell
Bodies.
for weeks now, almost 2 months, I would say. And we had to all be out watering our plants and stuff, and that causes, what does that cause? That causes water shortages. Think about it. And then, like, the other thing is, now we've had all this rain today, and now it's not supposed to rain again until I think like Friday. And who knows what all damage that smoke also caused? Like, are we going to see tornadoes now throughout the entire population? Even in places that wouldn't normally have tornadoes.
Hard to say. Who knows what the future brings but the future itself?
Speaking of the future,
Except for those, I guess, the few who actually know what the future is.
we've got Donald Trump. They're trying to indict him again after they just tried to get him for what was it, the taxes. They tried to get him for the taxes, and then they tried to get him for January 6th, and then they tried to get him. Now they're trying to get him for these so-called stolen documents, and it is just a witch hunt. And that's why I've got witch hunt in the title of our show. I thought that would be funny. Meanwhile, Creepy Joe is at a LGBTQ whatever
Hey.
whatever it's called, sniffing little kids' hair. Did you see this? They're doing it for Pride Month. Creepy Joe was up there on the stage, and all these little transgender kids was coming up to him, and he was hugging them, sniffing their hair. I mean, the man doesn't even know where he is from one moment to the next. But it's awfully funny how he still knows that he's a creepy little bastard, creepy little pedo. But yeah, things are just. By the way, speaking of mumps, why don't our American soldiers? How come they only get 1, maybe 2 days? Where's their month? Why isn't it Veterans Month? Or how about the Christians? Are they going to get a month too? Is Jesus going to get a month dedicated to him? I mean, his speech when he came out on that stage was just so cringe. He was talking about how brave all those people were. Yeah, brave for what? For trying to get our kids. Like, what about the men and women that fought and died for this country? They weren't brave. I am so sick of that argument that it's brave for them. Brave for them for what? What did they do exactly? I don't get it. I'm against it. I don't like it. There's so much other better stuff out there. You know, you got pride,
Well,
which
the spiritual part will play tonight, and I think it talks about a few things of that nature and other things of nature, in some of the book of Revelations. So
interesting.
hopefully the video plays.
Yeah, hopefully.
It gets into all the destruction.
But I'll tell you this. I do have a video of Trump and this guy, this a state's attorney, I guess he is, or whatever, or I guess it wouldn't be state's attorney, it'd be what, federal something or another. I don't know what he's called, but the way he's wording this is just you would think Trump was some kind of mass murderer or something, the way this guy is going after him like the Unabomber or some kind of terrorist or something. I mean, check this out. Look, by the way, I will get into the new YouTube guides and standards. They've reversed one of their rules, which is so nice because we get to talk about how unfair the 2020 election was. That'll be nice to talk about. I so hope that that's true, by the way, because it started June 2nd. But anyway, getting into this, here's a video. And I'm not going to show the whole thing because it is from CBS, I think, or something like that. But here is they're trying.
Is that one I sent about the CPS?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's not the one. Never mind.
No, this is weird. Oh, federal prosecutor. That's what I was trying to say. Let me know if I'm sharing.
You are big and bright.
All right, cool. Here we go.
The Justice Department laying out its argument against former President Donald Trump and his aide Walt Nauta in a 49-page indictment.
And I invite everyone to read it in full to understand the scope
Why
and the gravity of the crimes charged.
The charge is 37 criminal counts in total, including 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information.
Willful my ass. Like he grabbed all that stuff and took him to his estate because they were unclassified. They become unclassified once you're like, if they were classified, they would be tucked away in a safe somewhere, I would think. And secondly, who hasn't done this? I'm going to go on. I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of it, but after the video, we'll talk about this.
One count of conspiracy to obstruct justice and one count of scheme to...
Okay, I'm going to talk about that one right now. He invited the FBI into his house. He told him, come in and check out whatever you want. He even opened up rooms for these guys. Like he opened them up, said, here, you can whatever, He did not try to obstruct justice.
To conceal. The indictment stems from the grand jury probe into Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents and efforts to hamper their return to the government in accordance with the law. The unsealed indictment includes images of places where Trump kept classified documents, including a bathroom and bedrooms. The dispute resulting in an FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home last year.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Okay, if they apply to everyone, then what about Joe Biden's set of documents that he took when he was vice president? If they apply to everyone, what about Hillary Clinton's emails? What about those? That's not crime. Her deleting all those official emails, that's not a crime. Okay, let's go on.
In New Jersey, the first new images of the former president seen golfing at his private club hours after his federal indictment in the special counsel records investigation. And on his social media platform, Trump defending his aide, Walt Nauta, who is also being indicted. Trump accusing the Justice Department of trying to destroy Nauta's life and also insisting he's done nothing wrong.
I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly.
Trump has been ordered to appear for arraignment Tuesday in a Miami federal court, where Trump-appointed District Judge Eileen Cannon is assigned to preside, at least for now. The former president.
Okay, yeah. We're going to stop it there because it is ABC News, but let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about, all the other people who did this, and the FBI is not breaking down their door. They're not going in to their bathroom, their bedroom, checking out all their documents. And even Mike Pence, hold on a second. Let's get a hold of that, because here's where it gets weird. Even Mike Pence, that traitorous twit, Mike Pence, let's see. He even said that they shouldn't even be doing this, that we should be moving forward, that this shouldn't even, like, who the hell indicts, well, he's not a sitting president, but a former president of the United States who's not even in office. They're just, it's a witch hunt. But let me look this up for Mike Pence. Let's see, talks about documents. Hope I spelled that right. Because he's talking about Biden documents. Okay. That's not the one I saw, though. Pence reacts to, here we go. This is it. This is from CNN.
Meet Keaton Newgren. He's a law student from Johnstown who previously interned.
Okay, let me go ahead and get that in the share screen. And let's see. Here we go. And by the way, I can't believe we only got one person watching. This is some good stuff, people.
For Senator Joni Ernst. Keaton.
Very good. Hi, Mr. Vice President. My question is, are you prepared to push back against the former president on allegations you could have overturned the 2020 election?
Well, that's not it.
Now, I would refer you to my speech today.
Okay, that's not
question.
it.
The answer is yes. Because I think it's important. But not that I didn't think there were irregularities in the 2020 election. I did. And I said so on that fateful day.
Boom.
I had concerns that there were.
Boom. Okay. I was talking about this earlier. I wasn't going to get to this till later, but boom, there's that.
Half a dozen states that had changed the rules in the name of COVID, and that it undermined public confidence in our.
There's that. And let's see where he talks about the documents. Right now, he's talking about the election and the Capitol, January 6th, all the stuff they tried to get Trump on. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. This is what Mike Pence says.
Team that he is a target of a federal investigation into possibly mishandling classified documents. I should say you were cleared last week in your own documents case. What's your reaction to the news about your former boss?
Well, let me say that the handling of classified materials is a very serious matter. And that was why after the revelations at the president's residence and the revelations at the former president's residence, I took it upon myself to review our files. And we uncovered a small number of documents that had been inadvertently transferred to our residence
there you go.
In Indiana. I immediately informed the Department of Justice. And,
inadvertently.
I'm grateful after our full cooperation that they concluded that it was an innocent mistake.
Do you see his case as different?
But let me say this. Look, I don't know the facts of the president's case. I don't know the facts of the former president's case. But what we've got to have in this country is equal treatment under the law.
There you go.
And Dana, you may not know that. I mean, I was very troubled.
There it is. Even he's saying we have to have equal treatment under the law. I mean, if anything, where's Biden's indictment? Where's Hillary Clinton's indictment? Where's well, I guess Mike Pence was cleared, although I don't know how. But where's all these other people? Why aren't they investigating them? Why aren't they indicting them? And of course they're not. And I'll tell you why. Because they know that if this man gets elected, and it's not if, it's just a matter of when he gets elected, because they know they've got no chance of Biden getting reelected, and they know there's almost no chance of that guy DeSantis being elected. They know there's no doubt Trump runs for president, which he is. He's going to get elected. And when he does, that's going to just screw up all their plans. All their plans are just going to go right out the window. Whatever that may be, we already know some of their agenda. That's already been exposed of. But God knows what else is on that nasty agenda of theirs. And they know that if he gets in there, he's going to unravel everything. And just, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to say the least.
Well, here's the thing. I only got a few things to say about it.
Notice I didn't play Here's the Thing.
Yeah. The only thing I've got to say about it really is I get sick and fed up with just seeing photos. Pictures of Trump where people following him around like paparazzi. And anybody could have taken pictures of those documents and then, said, oh, we found these over here at this person's house. Like, if they want to talk about fairness, we should be able to see the whole footage. You should have, record things like that and just let us see the whole damn thing.
Well, I think two things, like all those, I think security reasons. I think that's one of the things. It seemed like some of those photos were in the White House.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say is like, they'll never show us footage. You know what I mean? So we'll never know
but
the truth.
Here's the thing also is like, I've noticed some of those photos didn't even look like they were in Mar-a-Lago. They look like they were at the White House where the documents are supposed to be. So who's to say where that even is?
Exactly. It's just a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the proof? The proof's in the pudding, in video footage while it's playing. The whole entire thing, not bits and pieces taken out, not photos. I hate that. Because no, we can't say whether he is or is not, innocent. I do think that they're trying to bully him. But, I mean, you want to talk about fairness and not bullying. Well,
It's a straight up witch hunt. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
They have demoralized the poor man. They have invaded his home. They tried with, first of all, they got him out of there in the 2020 election, which was stolen. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you can't say that. That's misinformation. But what's cool is YouTube now allows us to say that. We're allowed to express our opinion. So I guess I have to say, in my opinion, it was stolen. But here's the deal. Also, they tried to get him with that. So they got him out. They got him out of office by totally messing with the election. Then they tried to impeach him for the January 6th thing. Even before that, if you go all the way back before he was elected, they tried to get him for Russian collusion. Then they tried to impeach him. Then they tried to impeach him again for something else. Then they tried to get him on tax evasion. Then they tried this thing. And there was something else that even happened before this thing, but it went silent. Did you notice that? Like there was something, like when the feds raided Mar-a-Lago, there was something they tried to get him for, but it just fell flat. Like we never heard from it ever again. That was the end of it. And here's the funny thing. Let's say he becomes president, or not becomes president. Let's say he becomes the head running guy on the Republican Party. Even if he's in jail, let's say they get him for something, which I don't think they will. Even if he's in jail, he can run for president from jail, be elected. Here's the crazy thing. Be elected, get into the White House and pardon himself. That is the funny thing. I'm sorry, Go-Kart Bob, but it has to be talked about because it's really the fate of our country is at stake when you talk about this stuff. Because, Trump, he promises to stop all the human trafficking. He promises to stop this and that. And even if, let's say, even if those are just kind of like blank promises, right? Well, we know from the past that he made good on a lot of the promises that he promised before. He built the wall, keeping illegal immigrants out. And a lot of people are they were mad about that. But here's the thing about illegal immigrants is, I have no problem if you come here and you try to make a life for yourself and you do the test and you become an American citizen. That's fine. I mean, my great-grandparents were immigrants and they went through the same hardships. They had to go and they took the civics test and became American citizens. But if you're just allowing any old Tom, Dick, and Harry over the border, who's to say they're going to be nice guys? They're going to be drug dealers, human traffickers. There's not there. It's not all good people that's coming over that border. is what I'm saying. And that's why the whole wall thing needed to be done. It had to be done because there, I mean, look at what's happening now. They're coming in destroying the country. And now the ones who were against the wall are like, oh my God, they're coming to Chicago. Get them out of this country. They don't want them. Where were those people? The same people that were saying, bring them in, bring them in, bring them in, are now the same ones that are saying, get them out, get them out, get them out. So yeah, that was necessary. He made good on that promise. Gas was down, what, $2 something? Like it was $2 and something a gallon when he was in office. Jobs were up. There was less unemployment. The oil pipelines, he was getting us dependent on our own oil rather than be dependent on foreign oil. He had a lot of stuff that he was getting accomplished. And then, by golly, first night good old Joe comes in. What's he do? He signs an executive order shutting down several of the pipelines, totally destroying all the stuff that Donald Trump did. He shut down all the pipelines and then ended the construction to the wall, which there's still like thousands and thousands of miles of like materials just laying there. So, yeah, I mean, love him or hate him, he did a lot for this country. And I know people hate talking about politics and stuff like that, but if we don't talk about it, if we don't stand up for this country, and not only just the country, but the entire world is going to go to hell in the handbasket, because the United States of America is the focal point for all the other countries. So that means all the other countries are looking towards us for guidance. They're looking towards us like, they've always looked up towards us. And there's always been a way where we can negotiate with the other countries. And now all the other countries are looking at us like we're a fucking joke. And we are. We are a joke. We used to have one of the strongest militaries in the world. And now we have one of the weakest militaries in the world. And they know that. And they're going to strike. And so the whole point of what I'm saying is, if we don't speak up, we don't do something, I don't care who you get in there. It could be Trump, it could be DeSantis, it could be anybody. Anybody, do you hear me? But this guy, Joe Biden, that guy cannot, and I repeat, cannot get in office again, or the fate of the world. Because there's no doubt, if he continues to do some of the dumb shit that he's done, well, not necessarily him, but his handlers, we're going to be looking at World War III. And it's not going to be good, because it's going to be China. It's going to be Russia. It's going to be the Ukraine. All of those countries are just, and not to mention the Middle East, all going to be against us. Because right now we are weak, dumb fucking idiots who fight and argue over fucking pronouns and misgendering people. That's what our country has come down to. And they know that. They know how weak we are. And that's why we need to get that old motherfucker out of there. Excuse my language. But that's why I talk about the politics. Not that I want to. I'm not a big politic guy. I don't really, up until the last few years or so, I never really was interested in politics. But if you don't get in there and get your head out of your ass and start paying attention, you're going to be left in the cold dirt. I mean, that's all there is to it. We have to stand up for this shit. We have to. And I'm sorry that I ran that into the ground. And as the mass YouTuber would say, boy, I really went on a tangent there, didn't I?
Just a little.
But yeah, that's, now you know my reason for, watching all the politics and talking about them, because it is important, even though it doesn't, I mean, they say your vote doesn't matter and so forth and so on, and it really doesn't. But in this case, it does. And even if it gets stolen, it does, because that's just that's the way I'm thinking. Like, let it get stolen. We're going to turn over all the rocks. We're going to turn over all the leaves. We're going to find out what exactly it is they did in the 2020 election. Excuse me. I swallowed my spit. And we're gonna try to somehow justify that, or not justify. We're gonna rectify it, because that's not. It just is what it is. But anyway, I digress. I've rambled here for about 20 minutes, so we'll just thanks, Go-Kart. We'll move on. But that's, I had to say what needed to be said. And, for a long time, YouTube wouldn't let us talk about that stuff. And now that they've lifted the rule, then I know that I'm safe. I know that my, this is not going to get taken down. So that's why I felt like I needed to talk about it. And that's it. That's all. Okay. What do we got next?
Are you good?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Go-Kart Bob. Good mask YouTuber impersonation.
I know, right?
Well, tonight, next would be, I have 22 memes for you and 5 cute and funny videos.
22 skidoo.
Skidamarinky dinky doo.
Ooh, I like that song. Skamarinky dinky dink, skamarinky doo. I love you.
Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you.
I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon.
Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you.
I love you singing.
Well, thank you.
No, I mean, isn't that part of the song?
Oh, I guess.
I do love you singing. I do love you singing, though. I do. But I'm saying, like, that's part of the song. Anyway, yeah. You know what? We've had enough serious talk for right now. Let's get into some memes. What do you say, Amazon?
What do you mean? Get into some memes.
Let's get into some memes.
Well, let's roll that beautiful meme footage.
Let's see here. Da 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 da. Let the boys be boys. Okay, here we go.
Slam.
Yeah. You remembered.
I did. Unfortunately. I'm that many years old.
Okay, we got our meme music going on. Let's see what the comments are. Man, I think Go-Kart Bob pretty much the only one in our chat tonight.
Yeah, he might be. Way to go, Go-Kart Bob.
Thanks for sticking with us. Wait, why is it speeding up? That was weird. Okay, let me get over to the, messenger.
Yeah. jump over to Messenger and you'll find everything there. And your memes are going to start with someone that hit a hedgehog.
I like that one. I've seen that one. That was funny. I didn't see anywhere where anybody else went live. I don't know where everybody's at.
I don't know.
I mean, there's 3 people watching, but doesn't seem to be anybody talking but you, Bob.
3's better than none.
3's got me. You guys are going to have to bear with me. My computer's running a little slow, hence the name Slow Bro. I bet people didn't even notice that.
I did.
Slow Bro 77. Man. We had a rough start, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
You know, if we had a bigger audience, I would say, let's do the world's biggest shout out. But we don't, so. Was it the world's biggest shout out, or did he used to say the world's longest shout out? I don't remember.
Well, I wouldn't be able to do a long shout out. I'd pass out.
I'm about to pass out right now.
Does it sound like it?
What, you? You're about to pass out?
No.
I
thought you said it sounded like it.
Oh, no. Well, what in the heck? Okay, here's the first one. There we go.
Go-Kart Bob wants his shout out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, well, Go-Kart Bob screeching in. There you go. Okay, here's our memes. Whoops. Maybe not. What the heck?
I don't know. It's on the CNN stuff.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Crazy happened.
Crazy things are happening, folks.
Crazy things.
All over the place.
Okay, here we go. Ta-da! I told you.
Ta-da-da! No! I hit a hedgehog!
All those rings.
All those rings. Can anyone remember? Go-Kart Bob, can you remember where hedgehog and rings are related?
Oh, that's my potato chip.
Wrong way. The heart potato chip you sent me.
Look at that. Yeah. Right out of the bag, too. I didn't even do anything.
I know. It's neat. I like that picture. That would be from Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
I'll let you read this.
Sharks are attracted to blood in the water because they mistake it for ketchup. Oh, misinformation. Misinformation. I like the little hot dog he's got there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the hot dog too.
I'm sorry, but I can't put ketchup on my hot dog.
I do ketchup, mustard, and relish.
I just do the mustard.
What do you like on your hot dog, folks?
What was that commercial? What do you like on your hot dog? Oh, no, wait, that was Tombstone. What do you want on your Tombstone?
Yeah, Tombstone pizza.
Oh, my goodness.
This is me.
The precious.
Yeah, that precious onion ring. The excitement on your face you get when you're like, oh, right, I got an onion ring in my fries.
You know what's funny is I said the same thing when I found a pack of cigarettes just at random. I was like,
I bet you did.
I was like, oh, the precious.
Right.
The precious.
Oh, yeah, I was excited.
I hate when people text me GM.
I think you
General
do.
Motors to you too. I thought that was silly.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my brain when I see the GM. I'm like,
right.
That's funny.
This is what organic garlic is called.
Vampire repellent.
Vampire repellent.
$4.99.
$4.99.
Hey, I've got my garlic. I got a whole bunch of garlic. I'll tell you what, if you people are willing to pay $4.99
for organic garlic,
for some garlic, hey,
then you need to start growing your own.
No, I was gonna say I've got some garlic. I'll sell them.
Right.
About $5 a pound. Heck yeah. I'm broke.
Right.
I need some of that garlic money.
If Southern ladies had been in charge of the Last Supper.
Oh my goodness.
That's what it would have looked like.
That'd be a heck of a way to go out. Goodness.
Feast of a lifetime.
Yeah. But he didn't go out though, but I'm just saying.
When I put question mark in a conversation, this is exactly my face behind the phone.
My question marks are followed by exclamation points. And maybe a WTF in there.
Right? Huh? That's always my thought. And then sometimes I'll say the huh, but really I know what you said, and it just takes my brain a while to download and process what you just said. Yeah.
I think my brain is still got Windows 98. It takes a long time.
Oh, what about the one from the 80s where it comes with that horrid sound? Oh my, I never could stand that sound. It would just it would get to my brain and all the different tones that it would do. It's like it would pierce my brain through my ears. And I'd want to cover my ears. This is an old hiking trick. Make your own gel insoles with gummy bears.
Oh my goodness.
Number 1, add a handful to your boots.
Oh
Number
my
2,
goodness, no.
spread out in an even layer. 3, pick off some while you're hiking for a quick snack.
No, thank you. Man, one thing I hate is when you're walking around the house and you get something sticky stuck to your sock.
Yeah.
Like that. Like just like a gummy bear or any kind of piece of candy. Or
you ought to see me when I go hiking. I overpack for emergencies when I go to places like that. And I have my gym bag and my backpack strapped to my body to go on a hike.
You're packed like it's a survival weekend.
Yes, because I have most of my life lived in survival mode. And I was raised by an army dad who taught me always be prepared. So it's kind of hard not to.
Oh my goodness. Yep. This would be me.
I think they're cute. Little hot dog octopuses.
This would be me. This is, except I don't have any hot dogs anymore.
Oh no.
I have to do my noodles.
They look cute though. When you're in the mood for seafood, but you're on a budget. Me. This is me with technology. Me, it doesn't have a tail, so I'm pretty sure it's a hamster. Tech support. Okay, fine. Right click the hamster. Sometimes I do this, I have to admit. When you see someone running for the elevator, but you press the left-right arrow button anyway. Whatever floor you're going to.
I don't know what happened, sorry.
Yeah. So you can get like a few minutes breathing room before you go into wherever you're going.
Best way to avoid that is just give off a big old rip before you get in.
Oh gosh.
You know, that way people won't want to be around the elevator. I'll get the next one.
All this time, I thought she was calling for her Auntie M. She was calling out, ATM, ATM.
How do their economics work in Oz anyway? I don't never see them really actually buying stuff.
I don't know.
Like when they were getting their hair did and their nails did and all that. Like, did they charge them?
I don't know, maybe they sell their eggs. That was a bad joke. You know, because the babies pop out of the eggs. Baby munchkins.
A man ran home from work, pulled his wife into the bedroom, threw her on the bed, and pulled the blankets over them. She was shocked. He hadn't been like this for 20 years. Then her husband said, "Look, my new watch glows in the dark."
I could see this being you.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that one.
Oh yeah. I would definitely do something like this. Meanwhile, in Florida, the finders keepers game is strong. Oh my God.
You took somebody's floaty.
I was wondering, what is that?
It's a floaty. Must
That's
got
a
away
tiny
from.
gator.
I wonder. Makes you wonder: did he just find it floating, or did he like force somebody off there?
I don't know. Either that's from far away, or it's a tiny gator. It looks like a baby gator.
Yeah. I'm so glad I was taught to play the recorder at school. I've lost count of the times I've resolved a difficult situation with a quick blast of hot cross buns.
Okay.
You don't remember the recorder?
Yeah, but I
They
don't.
used to have us do music class.
I never actually had a music class.
Oh, you didn't do music in class when you were in elementary?
No.
No? I did.
But it'd be nice to be able to play the tune from Legend of Zelda where
Right.
take you away. Just be on a different place. Different island. You are a good driver. That curb doesn't belong there.
That's me talking to you.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
You have a thing with hitting curves.
Yeah.
That'd be me motivating you. You are a good driver. That curb doesn't belong there. This is me. If a cookie falls on the floor and you pick it up, that's a squat, right?
I guess technically that could be anything though.
Right.
Couldn't tie your
You drop
shoes.
anything.
Usually my thing is I get stuff that falls off my coffee table. And then when I see it fall off the coffee table, I'm like, oh, I'll get that later.
I gotta pick things up right away. I hate when they fall.
Oh no, but I wait till later, and then by the time later comes, there's like 27 different items laying on the floor, and it's kind of like a quest. Pick up as many items as you can without dropping them.
You just did this a while ago.
Yes.
And I do this. Me choking on my own spit because even breathing is apparently too complicated for me.
I think mine was because I was in the moment of being on the tremendous rant.
Right. You choked on your rant?
Yeah.
I hate it when you see a sign and suddenly your plans are ruined.
I was going to ride that Triceratops.
Right. No riding. Absolutely no riding the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Damn it. Now what am I supposed to do? That's funny. I can't believe this is even real. Like, for real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you take your makeup off and he still calls you pretty?
That's love. That's love right there.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love this next one.
Well, I gotta say though, that dog does look cute.
Right? Tooth missing and all.
Yeah. Oh boy. That is the stuff of nightmares.
Is that creepy or what? Mr.
Oh, yeah.
E.T.
Mm-hmm. Phone home, fool.
Yes.
Call 1-800-COLLECT. You remember those?
I'll beat the fool who don't.
Do you remember those commercials?
Yeah.
I think he was in those. 1-800-COLLECT. Save some money. I pity the fool. That actually looks like it might actually work.
This actually probably would. If you take one of those battery-operated fans that the hospitals give you, I can see this working. And I was thinking, I think I might start collecting some of these supplies. I already got 2 hospital fans.
Yeah.
And then that way, if, electric ever goes out during the summer, guess what? I'm going to get me some bags of ice.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's the sarcastic fringe head, so that's the creepy critter, so we'll get off of that.
You know what? I think you've already done this one.
Did I? That's
Yes.
why I was asking.
I think so.
Because I could not remember for the life of me if I'd already done it. But if I did, I apologize. And there it is again tonight.
Well, that's fine. But
yeah. The little air conditioner thing?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have somebody tonight who I would like to thank.
Okay.
Well, you for one, for letting me be a co-host on the show. Because it's awesome. And does anybody out there know who the inventor of the air conditioner was?
I think it was the Egyptians. But I could be wrong. The Earth.
Yep. Go ahead.
But yeah, the earliest inventor of the air conditioning were the Egyptians. They used to take wet blankets and they would put them on the outside of a hut or something, and then they would have people, fan, like with the giant fans. Remember those? The giant fans that they would stand in front of the king or queen or whatever and fan them. And they would have them do that, and it would actually, it wasn't quite like an air conditioner, but it kind of worked as that. I read that somewhere like a long time ago. Maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know, but I could have swore I read that somewhere a long time ago. But yeah, who was the actual inventor of the air conditioner? You there? Amazon line, we lost your feed. You're muted up.
Oh, I'm muted up.
Mm-hmm.
But the inventor of the air conditioner would be Willis Carrier.
Okay.
So, through all these hot months, we need to remember this person, because if not for him, we wouldn't have air conditioning and stay cool the way we do. And so I put a little YouTube video up for you in Messenger. And you'll see a black and white photo of about 7 gentlemen, and the title is Air Conditioning History.
Don't lose yourself in the moment.
While you get that up there, I'm going to step away for just a few moments.
Because moments is all we have. Okay, I see what Go-Kart Bob was talking about now. I didn't hear what she said.
I said, did you hear what I said, that it was a YouTube video?
A YouTube video,
And you'll see a black and white photo of 7 gentlemen.
Okay.
And the video is called Air Conditioning History, and it's in your messenger. And while you get that set up, I am going to step away for a minute or so.
Okay.
And I'll be right back.
We'll see you then. All right, let me go ahead and go through this, because sometimes it won't be in the same spot. Like I have to actually go through. Let's see. What in the heck? Well, I gotta get rid of that. What in the heck is this spam? Let's see. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, that monkey. Oh, that's creepy. YouTube video, the air conditioner. Oh, I hate when it jumps like that. Oh, goodness. Okay, we got to go through all the memes. And let's see. Okay, I'm almost through the memes. There's a mouse or something. What is this? A dog. Okay. What is that? It's a frog. Oh, okay. Here we go. Finally, I got to it, but I did get to it. So. Okay, this is from it says Discovery World up there at the top. I hope that's not going to be an issue. Let's see here. This comes from Annalisa.
Well, if you can, just, share them.
Well, hold on a second.
You have to.
Let me, I was trying to get the name of the person here. Annalisa Dania is the name of the channel. And I will put a link there in the comments and let them know that we're sharing their video. And hopefully that'll be no copyright strikes or anything. So let's go. I think that's it right there. Air condition history.
Yes.
Air condition history. Whoops, wrong thing. Air condition history. Okay. Let's get it to full screen and hit go.
In 1902, Willis Carrier was a keen young electrical engineer working for a heating and ventilation company. On one muggy summer morning, he was at a job.
Carrier believed that you could do anything in life if you set your mind to it. He really believed in hard work.
The job was at a high-quality publishing company. Extreme heat and humidity were ruining the paper as it went through the printing machines.
Sackett Wilhelms was a publishing company that published in color, and it was important for the paper to go through the printing presses the same way each time to take on a new color.
The damp air was making the paper swell and shrink, so it was a different size every time it went through the machine.
I see.
This meant the colors didn't align. Carrier's assignment was to work out how to make the room's temperature and humidity remain constant.
Yeah. Okay, so there's some ink to the eye.
Right.
I don't know if we could show this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Because it is a documentary type thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting how they got started here, though. I mean, you got to keep the paper's consistency, and apparently the humidity in the air was causing it to shrink. That's, or was it shrink or swell? I can't remember what he said. But anyway, yeah, we'll watch a little bit of this, but I don't know if I want to go through the whole thing or not.
All right.
Just in case.
70 degrees in the winter, 80 degrees in the summer. South Park. And a 55% humidity level at all times.
Temperature control had been done, but nobody had ever developed a safe and reliable way to control the exact percentage of humidity in a room. Carrier became obsessed about how to make a room less humid without making it too dry.
I'm surprised he didn't also invent a humidifier.
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered that myself.
One of Carrier's interesting personality traits was that he had tremendous focus. When he was thinking of an engineering problem, he couldn't be distracted by anything else. That meant that he often forgot everyday details.
We got somebody else that joined us.
Had a story about.
What's up?
We got someone else that's joined us.
No, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, who's that?
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine?
Michael Fontaine?
Michael Fontaine.
Carrier's famous absent-mindedness. When he was thinking about engineering, he thought of nothing else. Once when he was traveling, he opened his suitcase to discover he had packed only one handkerchief and had nothing else in the suitcase.
That'd be a bummer.
It was not until many weeks later, on the platform of a foggy train station, that answers began to surface. Carrier knew that fog was air that's 100% saturated with water.
And here's the other thing I didn't know. I didn't know they had anything printed in color back then.
I didn't either.
Like that's somewhat of a, I won't call it a Mandela effect, but that's sort of a new thing for me. I've never heard of that. I guess like
maybe it's when they were just starting to get like the distant hues of it was like what, more of a brownish type hue.
Maybe.
No.
This made him think, what if he could create 100% humidity so that he had an exact starting point? Then add enough dry air to reduce humidity to 55%, just as the boss requested.
Carrier knew if he could recreate fog, he would have 100% saturated air. He would know precisely how much humidity he had, and he would have the basics to reproduce any relative humidity that he wanted.
Carrier began to work on his theory. He built a box in which he could trap air and control what happened to it inside. He then gathered together a couple of fans, a garden sprayer, and heating coils. He used one fan to suck the hot air into the box. He then lowered the temperature of that air with a fine spray of cold water. As the air passed through the water, it turned into fog. Carrier had now got 100% relative humidity. He then began reducing the level of humidity by adding a precise amount of dry air to the chamber, so as to reduce.
That makes sense, seeing how we have to, the hot end goes outside, and that's where your drain is, and that's where the water drips.
Right.
So you have to have, the back end has to be hot, where the cold air could blow from the inside of your house or whatever. And this is something that happens to me sometimes. If I'm running my air conditioner and it's not quite that humid or that hot out, like, it doesn't do it with this one, but I noticed my other one, like, it used to actually almost like form ice cubes, like little tiny ice crystals inside the air conditioner because it wasn't hot enough outside. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It'd be spitting out ice cubes.
Reduce it to a relative humidity of 55%. Carrier then released that perfectly conditioned air into the printing room.
I bet that felt good too.
His client was delighted with the result. Carrier's unique idea had created perfect temperature and humidity, the world's first air conditioner.
Well, there you go.
Very few.
Can you imagine how it felt the first time they ever touched air conditioning?
Oh my goodness. That was great, because
I bet they were just standing right in front of it, just laughing.
Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, I like that Kermit joke you told, Michael Fontaine. But yeah, it's interesting because what year was that? I missed it.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Because I think way back, like, I think
And we did post it in the comments. That way, if you want to take a look back at it,
yeah,
you can do that.
I think way back, and if I'm not mistaken, like in the 40s or even like mid 40s, early 50s, they had air conditioning, but it was only used in places like restaurants and movie theaters and just commercial places. Like they weren't even in cars yet. So it was like, you were very fortunate. Like, that's how people would stay cool during the summertime, is they would allow people to go into the movie theater if they were overheated. And I don't even think you had to pay anything. Like, I heard stories that my grandma would say they would have cooling places that people would go to, and you would go there when it was like really hot out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, back in those days, though, they had great big huge fans, and the fans were enormous, and they were made of steel. And I even remember being a little kid, and my grandparents had a window fan that was made of metal, like it was solid steel, and you could smell sort of like the like if it got dusty or whatever, like you could really smell it. And I can remember the smell of the steel fan like being turned on, and that really, really kept the place cool. Like during the daytime, we would have our air condition on, and then at night they turned the window fan on, and that thing was really, really awesome. But the thing is, back then, those fans, you could chop your hand off. Like,
yeah, I like garage fans.
But yeah, they had ceiling fans. Now, ceiling fans they had back in the 1800s, like in saloons and stuff. Like you'd walk into
Yeah.
a saloon, you know. But yeah, that's a really neat story of how air conditioners first got started.
Yeah, I just thought with, the weather, we've had some hot days. And I figured, we could just give a big thank you to the guy who invented air conditioning so that we can sit in it and enjoy it. We have to remember how it was made. Who put in all that hard work to make sure that we stay cool.
I wouldn't doubt that. Ed, you weren't here earlier when I was on my rant. I went over the whole Joe Biden thing. I was so just enthralled into it all. I mean, you'll have to rewind it back, but you'll see the big long speech I gave at the very beginning that took, if I'm not mistaken, it probably took about 20 minutes of our time.
Yeah, it was a good chunk.
Yeah, so yeah, that fish thing, the sarcastic fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already did that one.
Okay.
So,
well, would you like to maybe move on to the next topic?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. If we run out of things, like if we get into a topic in, let's see, what time is it? An hour, 21 minutes. All right, let's do this. We'll show all the topics. And if we have time left over, maybe we'll play a quick game of what the dub.
Okay.
That is if we have time. Michael Fontaine,
Right.
don't you get too excited now. Don't you get your hopes up. I'm not trying to get your hopes up. All right? Just saying. Okay. No, but seriously though, what is the next topic, Amazon Line?
Well, hopefully the video will come through. It's in your messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that we can do a bit of a spiritual topic tonight. And let's see, it would be as the smoke of a grate is what you'll see. You'll see that at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it.
At the bottom, you'll see the words, as the smoke of a grate.
Wait.
And this spiritual video would be on a bit of Revelations.
Spiritual part of the show. Oh, there it is. Okay. Got it.
See at the bottom where it says, as the smoke of a grate?
Yeah, we got a problem.
It won't play?
Nope.
Hmm.
And I don't know why. Where did you get this?
Facebook.
Oh, that's probably why.
The Facebook Watch.
Yeah, it's not going to play.
So you want me to try and send it another way?
I don't think that's really the problem, but if you want to, you could try sending it through Hangouts.
Okay.
And see if that works.
I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, instead of that one, would you like to go to the one about the fires, or would you like to go to the 20th creepiest, well, they're not creepy, but toys that were banned?
Yeah, that one's creepy.
Yeah, the front photos.
Disturbing kid toys. Yes, let's
Yes,
go ahead
do
and
disturbing kids' toys.
let's watch that one.
Sounds good to me.
Ooh, that monkey! I'll tell you something about this monkey. But when it pops up there, but this monkey, if I'm not mistaken, was an actual haunted monkey that was on the. It's in. I think it's in the museum of the Warrens.
But in truth, there is no.
Oh, okay. There's one that's a doll. I don't know if you've ever seen that video before, but there's a kid from, I think it's Mexico, and she gets a doll for her birthday. And it's either her birthday or Christmas. And supposedly it's just a regular doll. There are no mechanical movements or anything like that. And as they're recording and she's talking, she says something in Spanish, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but the doll's head moves and then says something to her in Spanish. And she immediately throws it on the ground and runs off.
I believe it.
It is creepy as all get out. And the thing is, they're saying like there's no mechanical thing in there. I don't know if that's true. I would have to examine the doll. I'd have to take a look at it, but I don't know. It looks authentic to me. But authentic or not, it's definitely creepy. All right, let's see what you got here. You beeped in a bunch of stuff.
Well, I'm sending that to you in 3 different ways and see if just any of them by chance work when you press on them.
Okay, well, I'm going to play this creepy toy thing.
Sounds good.
So let's have it.
Some of them are creepy toys, but it's 20 toys that were banned because they were just that disturbing.
Oh, wow. Just because they were disturbing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, am I sharing my screen?
You are.
All right, cool beans. Let's take her away. Ooh, that thing right there.
Yeah, that thing always creeped me out.
Favorite toy.
Oh, that thing has no eyes.
Will likely be affected by who you are and how you grew up and what you watched and enjoyed and so on.
Oh, yeah.
But in truth, there is no wrong answer to what.
The one with the Cabbage Patch Kid, that one was actually banned because of a safety hazard, because it was eating little girl's hair. Did you know that?
No, I sure didn't.
Yeah, there was the Munch Cabbage Patch Kid that would eat the carrots and whatever. It was eating little girl's hair. Would get in there and they would eat it, and it was really causing bad injuries. And I guess they were also like biting their fingers and stuff like that too.
Your favorite toy is, and if you bought it at a store of any kind, it meant that it was there for you to buy intentionally.
Oh, that's creepy.
But as with all things, there are times and situations where a good idea doesn't actually come off that way, and there are plenty of toys in history that were a bit too much for the public. Here now are 20 disturbing kid toys that got banned.
That's funny.
Number 20, Pregnant Barbie. If you wanted
that
to
got
talk
banned?
about a definitive girl toy throughout it.
Well, now wait a minute. I thought this was still a thing.
No, I guess not.
I thought I saw it.
Unless they came out with it.
History, that would be Barbie. Barbie, in many ways, is the peak of what toys can be. It's a simple toy of a woman that can be dressed up and accessorized, have all kinds of add-ons and cars and houses.
Yes, and now they even have a movie that's coming out, or it's already been out. I forget what. The Barbie movie. Did you see that?
I did.
where it came out or it's coming out.
Playmates, and even a boyfriend who actually sticks around. And you can keep making them ad nauseum so that you can make lots and lots and lots of cash. That's exactly what Barbie has done over the years, and she's even gotten a live-action movie starring Margot Robbie. But that doesn't mean that all Barbie's designs have been winners. Oh, far from it. In 2018, a new model of Barbie would go out on the shelves, known as Pregnant Barbie. On the surface, that seems like a great idea. I mean, it could be used to teach and show that Barbie is willing to be a mother and such, but when the version actually hit the stores and parents saw how she was pregnant, well, the pictures speak volumes for themselves. They literally just opened her up, put a baby in there, and then you're supposed to undress her to get the baby out and remove the baby bump. And so you can see why parents were not exactly thrilled about it all. First off, it's creepy as all get out. And second, the fact that the children have to undress Barbie to get the baby out does not really send the best message. And there had to be better ways to show off a pregnancy than this. Talk about sending the wrong idea about how babies are born. So yes, it may not be Mattel's best work, and some could even argue that some children might ask about where babies come from a little bit too soon thanks to the doll, and who really wants to have that awkward conversation with a young child? Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Hey, there you go. There's your creepy critter.
Number 19. Creeping baby doll.
What
Now we're going to a toy that was made long before Barbie, and yet somehow shows that people didn't learn certain lessons back then. In the 19th century, there were many beliefs about the world and the people that were both weird, offensive, and not so intelligent. Case in point, many people believe that crawling was actually an unnatural thing. No, really. Crawling was considered to be unnatural and unfit for a sane human being, and was thought to be a morally suspicious act attributed to insanity and animal life. It would later be in the mid-19th century that crawling became accepted and normalized as a natural stage of development. I'm glad that it worked out, that eventually, even if it did lead to the invention of this thing. The doll that you're looking at was made in the year 1871 and was meant to help children.
What would you do if you woke up in the middle of the night and saw that thing coming at you?
Man, I'd freak out. Because that's the first time I had ever seen one like that. I was like, that is disturbing. I don't like that.
That is disturbing.
It's like something from Toy Story.
Yes, with that evil baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To learn how to crawl to help along with their development. A positive thing?
Yeah!
Well, absolutely. But does the doll look... Better believe it. The head, legs, and hands were all made out of plaster, but the rest of the body was mechanical, and that helped to ensure
Why
that the
didn't
movement
they
of the
cover
crawl
it
was
up?
accurate to what a baby
I don't know.
That's rather forward
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
Yeah, maybe that's probably how it started there. Probably lost its material.
As such, the doll was
throughout the
basically
years.
because no child wanted to be near it. And you know that when even children are scared of a toy like this, that's
Oh my God.
One of the ironies here is that eventually there were more visually pleasing toys that did have the ability to crawl, and children naturally took to those. Now, I'm not saying that this creeping baby doll was but it definitely
They
did
do look less disturbing.
execution. Number 18, Boobas. Look, I know that children's television is going to be weird sometimes, especially when it's for younger kids
Yeah,
who
they
can't
were kind of creepy.
exactly what they're seeing. That's why you have shows that feature weirdly shaped creatures as the main characters, or even shows that are based solely on song and dance in order to get kids excited. But there has to be a line, and one of those lines is the Boobas. The show would first be aired on the BBC and was made by the people who did the Teletubbies,
Of course.
another show that had some really weird.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I always thought these things were creepy. Just like
the Teletubbies.
that giant sun face thing, that giant baby.
My firstborn loved this show.
What was that? The baby son? What was the name of that?
Don't even remember.
I know one of these guys was named Tinky Winky.
Yeah.
Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky. Or Tipsy and Poe.
Oh gosh, you know the names.
Yes, because my firstborn loved these things.
Oh.
And she had the dolls, and yeah, I heard them all the time.
Oh no.
Signs. Anyways, the show tried to capture some of that magic, but when you look at how the Boobas appeared, you can see why they weren't exactly a big hit. It's hard to describe what they look like for starters, and then when you see their toys, you just wonder why anyone would give them to a child. Now, some may say that this is the point because it's so different, that it's unique, or that because it got a really furry body that young kids would like it, despite the fact that they have no idea what it was. While that may be true, let's have a heart for the children. They should be able to love and cherish all of their toys, no matter what, and not look at them and wonder why the heck that they have it in the first place. When you look at the Boobas, you're going to eventually... Do I have this in my possession? Also, how many of you have actually heard of the Boobas before coming to this video? That just goes to show that the show wasn't the best, and neither were the toys. And it just makes you wonder how much...
the noise that came from the tubby custard machine?
Number 17. My cleaning trolley. What does it take to make a truly bad children's toy? Is it simply that it looks ugly and no one wants to buy it as a result? Is it that the function doesn't really feel fulfilling, which is what toys are supposed to be about? Or is it that someone had a great idea, they got approved somehow, and the toy was what was released, and it was so offensive that heads should have rolled? For that last one, allow me to introduce you to the My Cleaning Trolley. It's a pink trolley that is only for girls, that is meant to make them cleaning ladies. You know, the women who come to your home and other areas and clean everything up.
Well, here's the thing, and I know it's not going to be a very popular opinion, but you know, some moms are stay-at-home moms and they do clean the house, and kids are going to see them doing this, and some kids want to imitate that behavior. You know, it's not necessarily that I don't think that they thought, oh, well, we'll make this so little girls will grow up to be maids. I think they were thinking, well, mommy cleans the house, so maybe they'll want to clean the house with them. You know, be like mommy's little helper. I think that's the idea that they had, probably, and all good intentions, and it just sort of didn't quite work out that way, you know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I didn't think it was wrong. I loved all that little stuff when I was a girl. All the furniture and stuff, like I was taking care of my own little house.
Yeah. Kind of like anything else, really. When you'd play store, you'd have like the little cash register, you know, and I don't know. I don't really see too much wrong with this.
Up after the owners? Well, yeah, it's that kind of role. This toy was meant to get girls ready for such a job. Oh, I wonder what could be so offensive about that. Well, first off, there are plenty of men who do have similar roles in the world, and so labeling this as being just for girls is offensive because that states that only women and girls are good at cleaning, or that it's their role in life to be the cleaners of a household. And we have long since evolved past that point. Thank you very much. Secondly,
I think he's putting too much into it. Honestly,
why would a kid even want this kind of toy? What child goes around saying, I need a trolley so I can clean my house?
Well, there's a little boy.
Maybe someone out there wants it to be like mom and dad and try to clean up a place, but that's a fad that's going to quickly change. Unless you think that we're the only ones who think that this toy was outrageous, you would be wrong. Many people...
Well, he said it was made for just for girls, but there looked like there was red ones too. So I really don't see what the big deal was. They just showed a little boy playing.
Yeah, they showed a little boy.
Yeah.
People actually expressed their outrage and displeasure with the messages that this was sending, and it's much harder to get this
What,
toy.
that you're supposed to keep your home clean?
Number 16. Yumi doll that cries.
Oh boy.
Before you go blowing a gasket, we know that there are various dolls out there that simulate things like crying or whining and all of that sort of thing. It's a very interesting thing for them to do, and it's something that children can relate to. Plus, if a baby doll is crying, the child will, hopefully, want to take care of it immediately so that it stops, not unlike a mother with a child. However, in Japan, they made a Yumi doll that actually cries when you inject it. That's right.
Oh boy.
I said inject it. It's definitely one of the more weird things that you're going to see on this list, and I'm not lying about that injection part. You actually have to inject the doll, and then it will cry. Why do they feel the need to be that complicated with the entire process? Well, nobody really knows, but it's definitely a choice that they made, and it's not hard to see why so many were fine with not buying the doll. We'll begin with the obvious point. Who would want to inject a doll with anything? It doesn't matter what it is. Who would want the ability to inject a doll with something? And why would you make a doll that cries after being injected by its owner? Yes, it does technically replicate what we sometimes have to endure when we're injected with something at the doctor, but this is a children's toy, and not everything has to be accurate to real life. Equally as important is having an extra thing like an injector. Means that the child now has something that they can hurt themselves with. They might not even know how to use it, and that could cause a whole lot of problem. While realism and replicating things they'll see can be a worthy reasoning to make a toy, that doesn't mean that you should always do it, especially if this is the result. Number 15. Oreo Barbie.
Oh no.
Well, we can very easily what this Barbie is, because I've already shown you, Barbie is not immune to having really bad ideas placed upon her. And this is absolutely one of those. Now, I will admit, this was not a recent issue. It's actually one from over 25 years ago. Oreo Barbie would be released in 1997. And at that time, Mattel was busy making deals with Nabisco in order to create a fun-loving Barbie who loved to eat Oreos.
I mean, there's white ones too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get what they were. I get what they were trying to go for here. You know, they were just marketing Oreos. You know, hey, kids like Oreos. They like Barbies. Why not mix the two? But I also get why some people might find this extremely offensive.
Oreo cookies with her friends. She dressed in Oreo colors, which were blue and white, and even carried an Oreo purse, presumably full of cookies. Mattel would release a white Oreo Barbie first, who, for obvious reasons, debuted without any problems. But when the black Oreo Barbie was released, it caused quite the stir, especially in America, with the African American community. Why would that happen? Well, that's because while Oreo is the name for a delicious snack that most people can eat and enjoy, for the African American community, it means quite something different. Oreo is actually a derogatory term hurled at black people who are accused of acting white. Like an Oreo, they're supposedly black on the outside and white on the inside.
Okay.
You can think of it as a 20th century.
That's not exactly the definition I was going for.
No.
Why they would be offended. But
I mean, that's like me being called cracker and I'm offended. Now we can't call them crackers anymore.
Right.
That's gotta be something else. Come on.
Century version
I think they're cute.
Tom. So yeah, that was a big faux pas, but there's a small bright spot in all of it. When Mattel realized what they had done, which most agree was inadvertent, they then immediately recalled all of the Oreo Barbies, and now it's viewed as a collector's item because there are so few remaining in the world. The real moral of the story here is that if you're doing business and want to plug a product, make sure that you call it something that many would not see as offensive. Number 14, the Super Soaker Oozinator. Many of you out there, the Super Soaker was not only a toy, it was a key part of your childhood and self-defense. These at one time dominated the market because there were few things that a young child loved to do more on a hot day than to get their super soaker out and cool off while having fun blasting one another. It also helps that there was such a wide variety of these super soakers that you could have all sorts of unique battles depending on what you had in your arsenal. However, as you would expect, not every idea that came out of the super soaker camp was a surefire winner. In this case, I'm speaking of the super soaker Oozinator. If you're curious, the big difference between the Oozinator and the regular super soaker was what was shot out of it. Instead of firing water at your foes, it would squirt out a white gooey substance at you. That is not exactly the best visual, and if you've seen the they clearly don't realize the situation created for themselves. Now, I will give these super soakers some credit. They framed it as though you were being oozed by an alien based on the soaker's design. But when you really think about it, they should have seen what this would actually look like. Plus, ooze definitely is not something that you can easily get out of clothing and your hair. So an A for effort, but a D for execution. Number 13, the face bank.
Yeah.
One of the things that you children at a young age is the art of saving your money and finances. Naturally,
oh my gosh, the thing
have
moves.
a whole lot of money when they're under the age of
that
5
is creepy.
or even a little older. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the piggy bank is one of the most important things that you can get a young child.
I can see like this.
Oh, and them wanting to learn to put money in their mouth.
Mm-hmm. But I can also see like their fingers getting caught in there, or like other body parts, you know, like hair and whatnot.
Well, easy to inspire them to use it. But naturally, many have come forward with ideas on how to make the piggy bank more fun for kids. Usually it means something like a nice visual or even an interactive element to it. Sadly, though, that's where the not one but two versions of the face bank come into play. As the name would suggest, this is a piggy bank that's shaped like a face. That's it. That's the look of the bank. It's a face. But the creepy part is that the face moves as you give it a coin. If you look at it, it takes the coin as if it's eating it, and you'll notice how it's watching you with those beady little eyes that
creepy.
just makes you wonder what it's thinking. I'm getting creeped out by it if you can't tell. And the fact that they made two different versions of the thing, I mean, why? Why would you do that? What do you have against children that would lead you to make such a piggy bank? If you're watching this and you need to get your children a piggy bank, just go the basic route and tell them to take care of it. I promise you, it's going to work. Number 12, Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kids. The Cabbage Patch Kids are easily one of the most iconic children's toys of all time. Their simple yet cute design endeared them to parents and children all over the world, and they were also a bestseller for quite a while. However, as you may have guessed, not everything that they did was a winner. Specifically, we'll rewind back to 1996 when the newest Cabbage Patch doll came out for Christmas. It was known as the Snack Time Kid doll and was designed to eat certain plastic foods that the child would give it. Which, in and of itself, is not really that big of an issue, right? It's even kind of adorable when you think about the kid feeding the doll. But here's the problem. The doll came with a motorized mouth, and it didn't have an off switch. As such, young girls were playing with the doll, and they would sometimes stick their fingers into the moving mouth and get bit. Or even worse, their hair would somehow get caught in the mouth and get stuck, leaving the doll literally clinging to the young child and effectively eating its head. Mattel claimed that they could not replicate this and that the doll went through
eating its head.
Safe, but did not go far enough.
Imagine a small kid just running through the house with the Cabbage Patch.
Release. The only way for the parents to stop the mouth from moving was to remove the batteries that were in the doll's back. So yes, they clearly did not do enough to child-proof this doll. But then again, you never know what a child's going to do outside of a testing laboratory once they get a toy. Number 11. Magic Monkey.
Oh my goodness.
Do you remember Toy Story 3?
Oh.
Because if you do, then you'll know exactly what toy I'm about to talk about.
I remember
in the children's playrooms,
that
there
movie.
were toys that were desperately...
What movie was that had that creepy monkey in? Was that the Amityville? Was that the movie they had that monkey in?
I think it was Poltergeist.
Was it Poltergeist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, that thing.
Where all the toys started going off.
Ooh, that was creepy.
Trying to get out because the kids were too rough with them as they played, but they never made it because of a monkey that watched over the room and alerted the good toys if someone was trying to escape. That monkey was the Magic Monkey, and yes, it is a real thing, and it's also the toxic fuel for all of your nightmares. Seriously, who in the world thought that this was a good idea? This is the stuff that haunts children for all of their lives, and it clearly affected the team at Pixar as they were
There
willing
you go.
film as a villain.
Oh my goodness. No, get it off. Get it off. Get it off there.
Nothing about the monkey is right, and it's a hard design to get right when you're trying to make a good toy.
And get some nightmare fuel for tonight.
And yet they went for the most creepy thing possible that eventually became a meme that we can't get out of our heads because it simply feels too accurate. Number 10. Baby Laugh-A-Lot. When it comes to making dolls, a very easy thing for toy makers to do is to make one that can replicate a certain thing or to say a certain thing in order to make a child feel at ease.
It's like
but with
it's
Baby
looking into
Laugh-A-Lot,
my soul.
they did not exactly do that in the right way. Making a doll that laughs, well, that is totally reasonable, completely understandable, and it could work really well. However, if you watch the infinitely creepy commercial, you're going to listen to how the doll laughs, and your life will never be the same. It is the laughter that the devil might make. No, really, I'm sure that laugh is something that you may hear as you descend into the underworld. This is the kind of laughter that makes people actually fear dolls. So yes, we want no part of this doll, and I hope that nothing like this ever gets made again. That commercial is really creepy from basically start to finish. I mean, what the heck were they even thinking? Number 9. The Jibba Jabber. The next one was banned for an entirely legitimate reason, and we really want to know who thought that it was a good idea. To put it simply, the Jibba Jabber was a toy that was meant to be played with by shaking it. It doesn't sound so bad at first, except that the way you shook it was by violently shaking its neck back and forth like the thing owed you money. It's not exactly the playful experience that you would want your kids to interact with, and things would only get more weird when the toy maker labeled the thing as a stress reliever and even put a label on it stating why you shouldn't do this act with your babies. That's right, people realized that the toy was basically a substitute for shaking babies, which can be fatal, and they threw a fit about it, and rightfully so. Number 8. Breast Milk Baby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you probably thought I was done with the weird things that some of these dolls can do, but you would be wrong. Back when Bill O'Reilly was part of Fox News, he would come across a doll that was so disturbing in his mind that he had to rant about it on the air. The doll in question was the Breast Milk Baby. If you're getting a picture of a doll that mimics the act of breastfeeding, well, you would be right. That's exactly what it was. It would make a sucking sound when put against certain parts of a young girl that was holding it. Bill O'Reilly didn't exactly like that, and neither did a lot of other parents. In their minds, it was wrong that a child would want to know about breastfeeding or even want to do it with their baby. Whether you agree with this is irrelevant, because the doll would be pulled from the shelves and they couldn't find a way to get it back on.
What were they thinking?
Number 7. Skinny Bones. For this next toy, we go retro to the 1970s, where, as many people have said, someone must have been really high to make a toy like this. The Skinny Bones was a toy that kids literally would put together themselves in order to make a life-size toy that was basically nothing but appendages and bones. This is the bare minimum that you could do to say that you've made a doll toy. I mean, what in the world? It's not really difficult to see why this is nightmare fuel to some, and it's just a lazy design overall. I mean, did someone have some fun with some sticks one day and say, "Oh, I bet I can make a toy out of this"? Well, they did, and it lives on in painful memories as a result. Number 6. Play-Doh extruder.
Oh no!
Now you may be thinking, how in the world could a person possibly screw up Play-Doh? I mean, it's Play-Doh, and to be perfectly clear, the Play-Doh itself is fine. Hasbro did not.
I'm not even gonna say what those look like.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Not screw that up in any kind of way.
No.
However, when it came to some of the accessories that you could get and use with the Play-Doh, you have one issue with a certain extruder. To put it simply, it was a device as part of a cake mountain playset and was meant to help you dish out the icing in order to decorate the cake. Which
I got a question.
Yeah.
How many people looked at this design before it got to be a final product and thought, and they greenlit this thing. Now you can't tell me that not one person on that board saw this and went, that kind of looks like a penis.
Yeah, my thought too.
I mean, come on, guys, really? They had to know what the hell they were doing. Come on.
on the surface level probably sounds great to
I
many,
hope somebody
but if you
got
take a
fired
look at
for
the
that.
extruder, you can tell me what you think you see. If you're like several parents, you see a certain reproductive organ, and they were not too happy with that at all.
no.
And when that's the complaint that people are giving, you just have to wonder who designed it and how it was approved without someone saying, "Hey, doesn't that look like a..." Number 5.
That's what
Pole
I
dancer
said.
Doll.
Oh no!
No,
Mean why this particular toy
they
would be.
didn't.
Seriously, it's called the Pole Dance Doll, and it does exactly what you think it does. It's a young doll that swings around on a pole. There's very little leeway that you could give something.
Wow.
And yet, they went full tilt with it. As you may imagine,
That
when
actually
parents
made
saw
it-
this toy advertised,
Wait, that actually made it out to market?
I guess so.
Oh man. And we thought what was going on nowadays with all this other stuff was bad. Well, it is, but this must have been the start of all that.
online, they were not at
My
all
goodness.
happy in the slightest, because this is a children's toy that is depicting a very adult profession.
And look
yet
what
the
they're
children
doing.
would not know that because
Yeah.
he is a dancing doll. Now, yes, there are ways to do pole dancing to be more about exercise, and it can be a cool thing, but that's not the image that people first think about with this toy, so you can understand why it was banned in the first place. Number 4. Little Miss No
Oh
Name.
my gosh.
Without a doubt, one of the things that drives toy makers is the seasons of the year. They will often try to make a doll or a toy that is perfect for that season so that children and parents will get it when it's in fashion, and then maybe get it again the following year. Halloween is not really a season that you necessarily associate with dolls, but make no mistake, there are always Halloween-themed toys during the month of October, and
Yeah.
some of them come out looking like Little Miss No Name. Yes, it is a real doll that was actually advertised for children, and it looks like a young homeless girl who is about to die at any moment. Someone, though, thought that it was a good idea, and they were very wrong about that,
Oh my
and
God.
people were very creeped out in the end. Number 3. Growing Up Skipper. Now, here's another Barbie failure, but there is a twist in this one, that it was not actually Barbie who failed her, but her little sister Skipper. Skipper was a big addition to the Barbie family back in 1964, but just a decade later, the people at Mattel felt that it was the right time to make Skipper grow up. Why? Nobody has any idea, but the idea that they came up with to showcase Skipper's new age was something else altogether. The Growing Up Skipper doll worked as follows. When you bought it, Skipper would be in her child form, but then when you rotated her arms to age her up, she
man.
got taller and then got a bigger
Are you
chest.
kidding
I
me?
wonder how suggestive
Wow.
that is. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
fans were outraged at what their children could do with the doll, and so they stopped making it, but others did not, which included having one in 2007 that was equally as bad, if not even worse. Number 2. Avenging Unicorn / Narwhal. Now, a toy that technically see why some people were not happy with the toy being the Avenging Unicorn Narwhal toys are ones that would let you partake in the fun of having a unicorn or a narwhal and then letting you impale people with their horns. Yeah, really, that's what these toys were made for. They were for impaling people and displaying their kills proudly for everyone to see. What's wrong with people in this world? I mean, that would really take too long to answer, so we will simply move on. Number 1. You can shave the baby.
Oh my God.
Wow. I mean, just wow. I didn't even know what to expect from the final entry, but a doll that allows you to shave it in some rather creepy way, that's definitely a choice. But it does get better. The person who made this doll was apparently trying to do a social commentary on matters of the world, which is not the worst thing in the world, but did you really have to do it with a children's toy? Also, just imagine the mess that parents would have to deal with from the kids shaving this doll all over. It ends up being a creepy and weird doll, and it's one that no children should ever have to play with. And that's all from the realm of toys that were so weird, gross, creepy, and so on that they ended up being banned. Were you shocked by some of these that were
Yes. That was nuts.
That was crazy, dude. Crazy.
I'm hanging up there.
There you are.
I tried to send it to you in 3 different ways. If it don't show up on the spiritual part, then we just won't play that.
We got some interesting comments in here.
All right.
Yeah, that some of that stuff. Now, some of that stuff I didn't really have a problem with, like the cleaning thing. I thought that was
didn't think that was so bad. I loved that stuff when I was a little girl. I had, before my house fire, I was about 5. You know, I had all that stuff. Every single bit of it. My mom spoiled me with it. You know, I had the couch and the chair. You remember the blow-up ones? You know, and the little kitchen set with all of it set up. You know, the pretend food and utensils and little cleaning stuff. I loved it.
I'll tell you what, though, that shaving baby and
yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. And then also the phallic symbol Play-Doh thing. That was some of these things, you know, they get through marketing, right? Like there's a process. They have to draw out the plans, and then they have to do like a whether they call that board storyboard. They have to storyboard them. They have to draw them out. They have to come up with the blueprints and all that stuff. And it all has to go through all these different people. Now, you know, some of those people had to see those designs and laugh their asses off, knowing full well what some of that stuff looked like, and still giving it the green light anyway for a children's toy. Now,
it was nuts.
How disgusting is that? That's crazy. But anyway, a lot of it interesting nonetheless. And there was a lot of really creepy things on there, like that monkey. I've always hated that monkey.
Yeah, it's like I thought the monkey was creepy, but there's times I've actually wanted that monkey.
Yeah, some of the creepy toys. One of the creepy ones that didn't make the list is the evil baby from Toy Story. Is actually like based off a real thing. Like I've seen my mom has these dolls that are real creepy looking, and there was one that had the eyes that shut, like when you move them a certain way, and it had like a broken eye, and that would always wink at you. I always thought those things were creepy.
Well, I actually one time wanted to take dolls' heads where they didn't have the eyes in it and actually turn it into a lamp.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, I know somebody who does projects with the dolls where they actually make them creepy on purpose.
Yeah, I've seen those dolls. I thought they were cool.
They're kind of like Tim Burton type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying. I like creepy stuff.
But that one, the unicorn one, that's not even for children anyway. That's for adults. But yeah, that was a fun watch. I will say that. And since I guess we could kind of call that, instead of like creepy critters, we can call it your creepy toys.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm into looking up all kinds of creepy stuff. Well, I mean, we could try and do the spiritual part, like I was saying, but
yeah,
I sent you 3 different versions 3 different ways that I sent it to you at the very bottom of your messenger. So if you want to click and see if any of them actually go on to it,
I'll
not,
try that. I'll try
we
that.
can move on to the fires.
But first, I want to go ahead and give this room a shout out real quick, since we got more people in here.
All right.
Joined us tonight is Philo Fire, Jesus Saves All, Screeching In is Go Kart Bob, Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine?
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
We had Edward Von King, or whatever he calls himself nowadays. He was here earlier. Bone Breaking Action, where creepy dolls are real. I'm sure Bone Breaking Action has a few creepy dolls he puts in his wrestling movies. Oh, Edward Von Kuhn, that's what he's calling himself nowadays. Okay. And that seems to be it. Most of the chat for the night was attributed to Go Kart Bob earlier.
Right.
So, well, I'm glad to see all of you here tonight as we do this Shifty Sunday show. This has been actually pretty decent show. This has been one of the better shows we've done, I think, for a while. If you don't mind me saying so.
No, not at all.
But let's see if we can get that, what I like to call uplifting or good news type of, well, it's not good.
I don't know if it'd be good news.
It's not good news.
It's stuff about Revelations. I'm really hoping that it'll play.
But it's good news if Jesus comes back to destroy all the evil that's going on.
Maybe you could try the middle one first and see if that one will go through.
I think I have it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, push that up. Okay, I need to close that. And let's see if I can make this big. I will when we get in there. Okay, here we go. This is the spiritual side.
Disciples of Jesus tells us the vision he sees in the heavenly realm. And I saw 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. He was given much incense to offer, with the prayers of all God's people, on the altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of God's people, went up before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it on the earth. And there came peals of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. Then the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to sound them. The first angel sounded his trumpet, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood, and it was hurled down on the earth. A third of the earth was burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. This trumpet represents devastation and judgment upon the earth, symbolizing the destructive forces that will be unleashed during the end times. The second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a huge mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea turned to blood, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. This trumpet signifies a great upheaval, possibly a cataclysmic event that impacts the oceans, leading to widespread destruction and loss. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter. This trumpet unveils a cosmic event, resulting in the poisoning of water sources, leading to bitterness and suffering. The fourth angel sounded his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them turned dark. A third of the day was without light, and also a third of the night. This trumpet brings forth a supernatural darkness, signaling a time of spiritual confusion and moral decay. As I watched, I heard an eagle that was flying in midair call out in a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the trumpet blasts about to be sounded by the other three angels." The fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke of the pit, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. Unto them was given power, as that of scorpions. They were told not to hurt the grass or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God in their foreheads. They were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months. The agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes. They will seek death, but will not find it. The locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were something like crowns of gold, and their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like woman's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They had breastplates like breastplates of iron. The sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails with stingers, like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, that is, destroyer. This trumpet represents a plague of tormenting locust-like creatures that will afflict those who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was 200 million troops. Their horses and riders looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by the 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses was in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes, having heads with which they inflict injury. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood idols that cannot see, walk, or hear. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts. This trumpet ushers in the release of 4 mighty angels, leading to widespread suffering and a devastating war involving a 200 million man army. The 7th angel sounded his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven which said, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Messiah, and he will reign forever and ever." The 24 elders, who were seated on their thrones before God, fell on their faces and worshipped God, saying, "We give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken your great power and have begun to reign. The nations were angry, and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead, and for rewarding your servants the prophets and your people who revere your name, both great and small, and for destroying those who destroy the earth." Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the Ark of the Covenant. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a severe hailstorm. This trumpet marks the culmination of all prophecy, the triumph of God's kingdom, and the ultimate end of time as we know it. The 7 trumpets, as described in the book of Revelation, offer a glimpse into the events that will unfold during the end times. While these prophecies may seem ominous, they remind us of the importance of salvation, to spread the truth to others, and to prepare for the difficult times to come.
Oh, there you go.
There you have it.
There you indeed have it. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much.
He's in trouble.
Do what?
The guy on the screen.
Oh. But I'll tell you this much. You know, I said earlier before I played this video that it was good news. And it is good news if you're on the side of righteousness. It is good news if you're on the side of Jesus, if you are a follower of Jesus. It is good news. Because there's
Absolutely.
There's a lot of evil taking place in this world right now.
Oh, buddy.
And no longer is it hidden in the darkness.
Nope. And, you know, the good book said that, it would be clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
It'd all be put out there.
It's out in the open.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. It certainly looks like things are headed that way. And I'm not, we're not doing this, to get scaremongering or anything like that.
No, not at all. It just reminded me of, you remember how, like, at the beginning it was talking about that fires would be started? And, that was the next thing that I had wanted to move on to was the wildfires.
The wildfires,
going on. Some of the videos I've seen shows they're being started on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. And as I said at the beginning of our live stream, I know they were started on purpose because I know that this is all part of the plan. This is all part of destroying the human population.
Right.
It all ties in with all the other stuff they've done. The poisoning of the water, the destroying of the weather, the changing of the weather.
I had also that little first video that I sent you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
I was getting ready to go on another tangent there.
No, it was just the little first video. I only wanted to show, like, the very beginning.
Right.
To let people be aware that these are the videos that they're showing, and it's not the stuff that they usually put out of the
Here are the most
aircraft.
inmates in the
To put
world.
the fires out. They are literally pouring fire from whatever they're carrying and pouring it on to the forest and in different areas. And then the second video is longer on a guy who talks about the topic. I mean, I found it interesting, so I thought I'd just share it too.
Well, let's see what we got here first of all. Let me close out all these little windows and stuff. Get this. We're done with that air conditioner video. Let's see.
Yeah, the little first one would say raging wildfires burn across Canada, sending smoke down to the U.S. But it wasn't just Canada. It's been in other areas too, all over the place.
There was a map that I looked at. I forget.
Yeah, in that second video, you will see the map. So
the map that I looked at had the fires all over the United States.
All over. And there's people that's recorded it was started on purpose.
Let's see here. Okay. Hopefully. What did it do? It did something. I had it on there and then it jumped. Here we are. Okay. Now this is across Canada.
Yeah, and I just, like I said, it's the very beginning that I wanted people to see, you know, the aircraft in the sky. You know, usually they're dumping stuff to help put the wildfires out, and these are being started.
Well, it's just like when you think about it, like I was just getting into is when I was talking about the poisoning of the water, the purposely derailing trains that are carrying
and you just said another piece from that video we just showed, poisoning of the water.
Poisoning of the water, trains that are carrying biological. Well, now I forgot what I was going to say. Biological chemicals inside of them, purposely derailing them, and then purposely starting what they call control fires on those trains, purposely spreading all of that biochemicals into the air, polluting everything. And now this, it's all part of the plan. You could call it human depopulation. You could call it the Great Reset. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But just here's that video that you were talking about. I've got it up, ready to go. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is.
It's quick, but watch the very beginning where they're pouring that liquid onto the trees.
Let's see. I got it to the beginning. Okay, and go. Whoa, what happened? Yeah, look, that's fire. They're pouring fire.
Fire that they are pouring on the trees and deliberately starting these fires. And that's like the only time you'll see it is like at the very beginning.
Look, right there. Yeah, they're pouring fire. What in the actual hell? That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's watch that just one more time. Now, just to be clear, this isn't the flames coming up from the forest attaching itself to the helicopter. This is something they are pouring onto the trees. Look, they're pouring this. Now, if that's not evidence and then purposely starting the fires, I don't know what is. I'll be honest.
Like I was saying, A, it would depopulation. B, oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Bedtime. But when earlier when we started, I said there was two other scenarios. Like B, we are low on resources and maybe they're trying to work game out of the forest. I don't know. Or C, what are they actually trying to bring out of the forests? Have people complained about seeing things so much? Is there alien / whatever out in the woods, forest that they're trying to get out of there? I don't know. It could be many things.
I think the latter is true about them trying to just cause panic and chaos and burning stuff down, causing.
Or, what are they trying to distract us from? Is this a distraction from something else? Who knows?
I don't think it's necessarily a distraction. I think it's part of, plan B. You got plan A, poison the water. Plan B, cause toxic fumes and pollute the air. Plan C.
Yeah, that's kind of smoke's going everywhere. We've even had smoke alerts.
Burn
and that's
down.
crazy.
burn down America. And that's what they're in Canada. Literally just burn down the world. You know?
Pretty much. And people with all those lung and heart issues like me, I have had trouble breathing. I feel like I got a compressed chest. Like somebody's stepping on it.
The other issue is an issue that you brought up about having limited resources.
Yeah.
What they're wanting to do is basically they know all that smoke's going to affect the weather too. So maybe not only with burning the fires and getting the smoke up there, but also with their weather controlling devices, maybe they're trying to start a great flood and flood us out and kill off all of the people that just don't matter and rebuild society with people of wealth and fame and the people with higher intelligence. They're, like I said, the Great Reset. And the Great Reset is going to be...
Yeah, I mean, we're due for a reset anyway, so...
It's going to be all of these people who have wealth and power. It's going to be your more intelligent people. They're going to breed all of these people who are, amongst the monster. And that's what they're trying to do. They're doing like a Noah's Ark, I'm telling you. That's what's going on. But yeah, Arthur Brown, you got that right, fellow fire.
But I got that second video with that guy speaking. You'll see his little head on the sun.
I saw that. What's that all about? That's funny, actually. Let's see.
But I just was listening to it. I found it interesting. Thought I'd share.
Actually, I can't play it. Maybe if you send it like you sent the other one in a little smaller box or whatever you did.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
And then after this, I am ready to head on out of here. I'm getting hungry.
See if that'll work.
I'm getting hungry and my head's starting to hurt, actually. Let's see. Where did that pop up at?
Funny you say that. I'm feeling the same way. A bit hungry and my head hurts. I got some pressure in my face going on.
Yeah, I tell you what.
My headaches from the smoke.
The other night, oh my goodness, I could not stand it. I had a sinus headache so big. I took 2 Tylenol, 2 Benadryl, and 2 weed pills. Let's see. I do not see. Let's see.
It will be at the very bottom.
Okay, yeah, I need to go there then. No, it's not wanting to play. You did the other one somehow where I was able to play it. And this one's not. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
All right.
I've got it. Sometimes I think you just got to send them twice. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay, before I hit play, crap, it's already playing. All right, let me go ahead and get over here. And can I rewind it? Let's see. Come on now. See, it's not letting me even go full screen on it for some reason.
Huh. See that map though?
Let me read.
Satellite map, and they said all of those fires started at the same time.
There it is. Oh crap! I hit. You know what?
No.
No, it'll. I hit refresh.
Oh, okay.
So now
The screen looks a bit bigger now. Maybe if you scroll down a little bit, and maybe it'll.
Do y'all know what happened a few days ago? You know, all this stuff that was popping off. No one
There
said.
you go.
I got some crazy stuff to show you real quick. But check this joint out real quick.
So I went on the so-called satellite maps to look at these forest fires, and look
at all that.
This. Look how much that is. I also heard somebody else on TikTok that had a satellite map, and they said all of those fires started at the same time. And in my recent video, I said this could be happening for multiple reasons. Number one, to kill off Mother Nature. They do this every year, it seems like. Number two, to keep people from going outside. I also seen a couple videos on TikTok where animals was unable to breathe. Number three, they do this every year or every other year to make more room for what's to come. Because why burn all this stuff down if they're not trying to put stuff right there to replace it? While thinking about all of this, something else came to my mind. I believe they are intentionally doing this, and they are also covering the skies. So what could be up there that they are trying to hide?
Now, about a year ago, I told you about the blue kachina arriving in Alaska and California and all these other places on the West Coast. And basically, this was one of the destroyers that was going to come and wreak havoc upon this world. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the real, true Great Reset. But what if I told you Nibiru and the red kachina and Nemesis was sighted just a couple of days ago with all these wildfires, and this is the thing they was trying to cover up. So let me show you real quick. This right here is New York. I'm also going to show you other cities such as Ohio, Kentucky, places like that was experiencing the same thing. Now, you see how this right here, this is the fog, you know what I'm saying? But this right here is sulfur. This is sulfur coming from that planet. Now, a lot of them may say, hey, this is coming from the wildfires. No, it's not. It's a big cover-up, people. But allow me to show you some more pictures. Then we're going to get to the meat. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, that's not from no wildfire. Look at it. Now, a lot of people also experienced that the sun was way bigger than usual, right? Keep that in mind. What causes the sun to be that big, right? Could something be combining with the sun all together to create this supermassive luminescent object? Now, a lot of people thought that this was the sun, but it wasn't. This is allegedly the sun too, right? Captured the same day. And these right here was allegedly the sun captured the same day. Now watch this. What do you see? Captured the same day. Look at that red sun. Captured the same day. There go the same object. Captured the same day.
Kind of looks like
now,
we have two
what
suns.
is combining with the sun? Right? Did you know there was a solar eclipse the same day? Now look how big that object is. And there it is down there too. Now, there go the eclipse about to start right there. And this is the eclipse, you know what I'm saying, zoomed in, showing you there is another object up there. Why is the sun bigger than usual? The object, again, and this right here was South Dakota. Now, look at this bank card and look at I told you this eclipse was captured everywhere. And this is all three about to combine. Remember, it got dark in New York. And look at this right here. It was taken from a solar camera. Look at this right there. Boom. You see the black dot? And then you got two objects right here. So it might be more than three.
No, quit moving
so
around,
just know
dude.
we are in that time of
I like how he's using his head as the arrow.
It'll get hot. A lot of things could have happened. And approximately in 2024, we're about to have the great earthquake that happened in 1812. It's about to reoccur again. And they seen all of this at the same time in the 1800s. once that cataclysm had hit. So just keep on doing your thing and not worrying. And by the way, we also had a blood moon. And don't you dare say, oh, it was because of the wildfires. No, it wasn't. There go the moon. Right there. I think I already showed this photo. But here's another photo of the eclipse. And there go the blood moon again. Literally all happening the same day when New York went dark. It was even behind the clouds, and nobody even noticed. And remember, they didn't make that movie.
Remember how it said day will turn into night?
Thank you for watching.
Okay. Wow. What is all this now?
I have no idea.
Yeah. There you go. I mean,
I don't know about you guys, but I am going to go cool off.
Really?
it all happening before.
You're gonna go cool off.
Look at that. That's terrific. Does the hotel
Because
know
of the
you took
sun.
those pillows?
Sounds nice right about now.
Yeah, they're hiding something. There's something going on they're not telling us about. There's this great I now, at first when you were talking about all that, I was more for the latter, but now I'm kind of leaning more towards what you were saying a while ago about them hiding something.
Yeah, like maybe they're trying to distract us from something bigger.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
makes
what I was talking about. You know, there's just different kinds of theories you can put out there. You can question it all day, but what's really freaking going on?
I like Fellow Fire's credit card thing there.
Right. I was laughing at that too. Look at this card.
I'm gonna see here. Go-Kart Bob.
We just had DD74 pop in.
Oh, DD74, just in time for us to close the show. We have I'm trying to read some of these comments here. Let's see. No, Mike Fontaine, I said if we had extra time left. We don't really have that much extra time left. What the dub takes about an hour, and I don't really want to be on here for 4 hours.
Yeah, I gotta get it up at 4 a.m. and go make some McDonald's breakfast for everybody.
I don't think it's a control burn to kill bugs. Let's see here. So is Australia the bottom of the flat Earth? Now they're talking about flat Earth. We got them talking. We got them really talking now.
Yeah, I mean there's been a lot of flat Earth stuff out there too.
Hey, we got John Nada. I haven't seen him in a while. John, how you doing, brother? Hey. We got DD74, John Nada, Philo Fire, Go-Kart Bob. I said Go-Kart Bob. Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine. Did I mention we have Philo Fire out there?
You did.
Oh, I did. Eddie Von Kuhn. Or Keen or Kuhn. I really feel uncomfortable saying his name sometimes. I'm just saying. Jesus Saves All. And that's it. Oh, and Bone Breaking Action, of course. So I just want to thank everyone who showed up tonight to do our Shifty Sunday with us. We started off really slow, but it looks like things picked up as we went along and had a lot of really great and interesting topics to talk about. And I went on a rant and even did a good mess YouTuber impression.
Yes, you did.
But like I said, you gotta watch for the signs. There's a lot of signs out there. The world is deteriorating, and all this stuff that's coming down is important. We talk about politics and we say, "Oh, I'm so sick and tired of talking about politics," or "I'm sick and tired about hearing about politics." But you got to do something. If you don't do anything, you just sit on it, then they say you can't beat big government, but doing something is better than doing nothing. So you got to take a stance either way, is my message that I'll leave you with for tonight. And Jesus is going to come and he's going to wipe out all this evil that's on this earth. And again, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us for Shifty Sunday, and that includes you, Amazon Lion. And now I will let you hit us with your final word and thoughts.
Well, my final words and thoughts, I did want to put a shout out there to my daughter, who was put up for adoption ages ago. She is 27 today, so happy birthday, Mariah Haley Dawn. Just know I'm thinking about you, and I hope you had the greatest birthday of all. And love and prayers to everyone. I hope everyone has a great week. I'll be thinking of you all and keeping you in my prayers, and hopes to see you next week. Bye, all.
I hope
and bye, Hebrew 77.
I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave you out. Later, Gators.
One last thing before we go. I've got a Star Trek movie, stop motion movie that I'm in the process right now of editing. I hope you guys can all catch that. I hope you will enjoy it. And until next time, for Shifty Sunday, this has been Hebrew 77 along with Amazon Lion, wishing all of you a good night. And we will see you all again, hopefully, next week. Take care and God bless. Well, that was the end of the show. And as far as shows go, this one was boss, don't you know? Sorry about that. Hold on. I don't think I got the beginning. Here we go. Well, that was the end of the show. And as far as shows go, this one was boss. However, don't you know? Thanks for kindly stopping by Shifty Sunday. And we'll see you folks all again next time. Same Shifty Sunday time, same Shifty Sunday channel right here on Hebrew 77 channel for Amazon Lion and Hebrew 77. And anybody else who might be on this week's broadcast, we'd like to wish you a good night, drive home safely, and don't forget to tip your waitresses. Just don't tip them too far, they might fall over. Thanks, folks. Have a wonderful night. Do-do-do-do!